From Super League to Olympic distance to age group world records to Kona. Go longer with the right fuel at the right time with SFuels.
It's breakfast with Bob in Hawaii. Get your coffee and tea and hang out with me, 'cause it's breakfast with Bob in Kona town.
Poncho Man, everybody! Welcome to 11th year of Breakfast with Bob from beautiful Huggers on the Rocks. My name is Bob Babber, brought to you by Master Spas, SFuels Go Longer, HOKA Let's Fly, Forum Smart Swim Goggles, Quintanaroo, Zoot, the original triathlon brand, and of course, our Challenged Athletes Foundation, a woman who's coming off a first place at Ironman Mont Tremblant. Give it up for Haley Chura! The Churiettes are here. I like it.
Yes, I take all the cheers. That's why I wear bright colors. I love all the cheers pre-race, during the race, and even post-race. I'll take the post-race cheers too.
Okay, so first time here?
No, this is my eighth time here. Yeah.
Oh my
well, I
God.
raced 4 times as a age grouper, and then 4 times. This is my 4th as a pro.
What do you think?
I mean, it's so good to be back. It's
Oh my
been
God.
5 years. I mean, I got teary-eyed getting off the airplane because it's so good to be back. I'm really happy to be here.
So at St. George, you get 19th. I'm sure that's not your happiest, but
Yeah.
but it's okay.
Yeah, it was a good
Brutal.
day in some ways. I had a really good swim there. I led the swim, led the first 20 miles of the bike, and then things kind of went a little bit downhill, and there's a lot of uphill on that course. So
There's
it was
just a little bit.
It wasn't my strongest day, but I'm really proud of that finish. I learned a lot, and I had a lot of questions coming out of that, and then as you mentioned, I went and raced Mont Tremblant a few weeks ago.
Yes.
And that was the race I had trained for in May. The race I put together in Tremblant was the race I had trained for in May. So it was really encouraging to find out that all that training I had done in the early part of the year, it didn't just go away because I had a bad race. You know, it was still there. It paid off a little bit later, but and I managed to get myself here. So I think maybe it was worth it.
You know what's fascinating is a lot of times for years I'd see Ben Hoffman was working with Ryan Bolton and really running with the Kenyan runners and getting better, but never really coming to fruition on race day. Then all of a sudden things clicked. All things happened. And it sounds like that's what happened to Mont Tremblant.
Yeah. I mean, it's so hard in Ironman to actually race to your training.
Right.
I think anyone who's been in this sport long enough knows that, those days where everything just clicks are few and far between, and that's one of the challenges of sport that keeps us coming and keeps us coming back. And I think that is one of the nice things about being a little bit older, being 37 now, and having that experience under my belt or under my race belt, and just being able to confront those challenges on race day, and being able to be like, okay, I've been in this situation again here or before. Here's how I get out of it, and make the most of whatever challenge confronts me on race day. So that's what I'm hoping for on Thursday.
I love it. And so your parents were they raced in the whole Bud Light Triathlon series back in the 80s?
Yes, I am I guess second generation triathlete. I think now we're getting even the sport's fairly new, but we're starting to get that second generation, third generation triathletes. But yes, my parents were in that early time when they didn't do Ironman, but they did the Bud Light series, which I know was super popular. And I remember, hearing stories of them doing open water swims, and they would take turns, and I'd be on the beach playing while they went open water swimming. And just, I grew up thinking that was totally normal. And so I knew that someday I would do triathlon, and I didn't necessarily think I would be doing it at a professional level in Hawaii, but that's life. Sometimes it works out even better than you expect.
Well, and color-wise, this is sort of the era of the Bud Light era. USTS, there was the bright Oakleys, it was the tri-gear was all pink and green and bright.
Maybe that's where I get it.
I was going to say.
I was growing up in a household with lots of neon. So, I do like the neon colors, of course.
What was the transition from just being a recreational athlete to deciding to become a pro?
Yeah, so I was actually a collegiate swimmer. I swam at the University of Georgia, and we were actually going to have 2 women Georgia swimmers in the pro field this year, which was going to be amazing. Rachel Zielinskis is 10 years younger than me, and we both swam at the University of Georgia, so I was like, go dogs! And unfortunately, she does have a stress fracture in her femur. I don't think she's racing, so I'm a little bummed to not have her out there in the swim, but I was proud Georgia Bulldog, and then Pretty much, right out of college, I was living in Atlanta, and I got hooked up with the Dynamo Multisport group and Dynamo Masters, and my good friend who's here, Betty Janelle, she was one of my first training partners, and she, got me into triathlon and, taught me those initial things like, you should invest in bike shorts, it's worth it, and those kind of things. And it's hard, they aren't necessarily intuitive, and we all kind of need that mentor to get us started. And it was just one thing led to another, and I did my first Kona in 2009 as an age grouper. I was 24 years old.
Oh my God.
So 13 years later, I'm still doing it. And, there's some days where I'm like, oh my goodness, what am I doing with my life? And then I'm here and I'm surrounded by all these incredible people. I'm looking out at the ocean. I'm talking to you, and I'm like, oh, I like what I'm doing with my life.
So first pro win, 2013, right? 70.3 New Orleans.
Yeah, that was, I was only my third pro race.
So that had to be so, okay, I made the right decision.
Yeah, I had actually just left my public accounting job 2 weeks before that. And so I definitely was questioning some life decisions. But it was that moment of leading that race and then crossing that finish line was so special. And I think we all take risks in life, and there's trade-offs, and we're trying to decide, what is the best path. And no one knows. No one knows what the alternate path is. But I think that embracing the opportunities that come and these really special moments that not many people in the world have that experience of crossing an Ironman finish line, a 70.3 finish line, and let alone crossing it first and holding the tape. And so I think that I've done a good job over, the last decade or so of really, really embracing those moments and realizing how special they are. And I hope I do that on Thursday. I hope I can take those moments when I'm out in the swim and be like, wow, what a cool way to spend a Thursday. I'm in Hawaii, I'm swimming in the Pacific Ocean, I'm running down, Ali'i, riding up the Queen K, going up to Hawaii, because this sport is hard. It's really hard at any level that you're at. But I think that if you can, take that step back and really appreciate where you are and the people you're around, and, have some pride in your own self, I think that it really makes it worth it.
So this race in particular, when you're leading this race, when you're coming out of the water first and you've got the helicopter above, and this is the Mecca, and this is the most important place in the world. How special is that, riding out on the Queen Highway? And
It's really special. So I've had the experience of leading, the Ironman World Championship, I guess twice now, once in St. George and once in Kona in 2013.
Yes.
But I will say the one really good thing that comes with age is that I've learned that while leading early in the race is quite fun, leading later in the race or having a really, really good later in the race is actually much better. So, I hope to be in that front group. We have a lot of really strong swimmers.
Yes.
Lucy, Lauren, Rebecca Clark, Fenella, Pamela Oliveira. There's going to be a really, really good group of women swimmers. And I think that's going to change the dynamic. And then just having our own day is going to be so cool.
You like that, right?
I love it. I raced in Chattanooga in 2017, the first year that the 70.3 Worlds were split between 2 days, and just had the best time. I think it's still one of my best racing experiences ever. And so I am just thrilled to see that the Ironman distance. I'm so excited. I'm excited for this year. I'm excited for next year. I actually have 2 age group athletes that I coach who are racing, 2 women, and I'm really excited to see how they do. And I'm also excited for next year when we're going to have even more women on the start line. And I think just this trend is pretty cool. And I'm really, really happy I get to be a part of this new era in Ironman racing.
Well, and also you get to race on Thursday and watch the guys on Saturday with no pressure.
Yeah,
get a drink, hang on the wall, do whatever the heck you want.
Exactly. Best case scenario.
Okay. So when I look at you have raced a ton.
I know, I'm 37, Bob. That's
what
happens.
Oh, my God. That's a lot of racing. Do you have one race that you look at as like the best race you've ever had?
Well, oh goodness. That's hard to pick. Like Chattanooga, the 2017 70.3 World Championship, I finished 9th, which is the only time I finished in the top 10 at a World Championship, which was really special. And that was, there were just so many friends and family that were able to make it to that race and watch me race. And I just had, a very complete race, but also Tremblant, just a few weeks ago, 6 weeks ago, winning Ironman Mont Tremblant. So my first Ironman distance win was in 2014 in Fortaleza, Brazil. And then to win another one in 2022 just feels wild, right? Like so much had happened in between in my life and then also in the whole world coming out of the pandemic and just really thinking I was probably never going to win another Ironman. And then having things come together on that course, on that day, I don't know if you've been there, but it's just a really special venue. The city really comes out and just celebrates. Yes.
Oh, so loved it.
I mean, it was amazing. It was so special, and I was really grateful. I mean, there's a downhill finish, which is very nice, and I just took some moments while I was running down that hill to be like, wow, you're actually doing this. This is incredible. And then they have fireworks, and so that was really, really cool and really special and just a little bit unexpected. And I think the whole reason I was racing in that race was because there have been so many people who have been a part of my career, sponsors, coaches, friends, family, who just encouraged me to give the Ironman distance another try. And that was the same thing with coming here to Hawaii. I was a little tentative on taking the slot.
Really?
Yeah, because Tremblant, and I live in Bozeman, Montana. It's a little bit different climate than Hawaii. I was nervous about the heat, and Tremblant is a little bit more like Montana. It's a little bit milder, but so I was nervous. I was nervous about taking this slot, how I'll handle the heat on Thursday. But I'm really thankful I was able to kind of recover from Tremblant.
Mm-hmm.
I actually went to Tucson for a couple weeks, and I stayed with my good friends Lauren and Brent, who are here. They're also racing, and it put me in the best possible physical and mental space. I don't think I've ever come to Kona in the previous 7 times feeling this good and feeling this confident, which is wild because I did race an Ironman 6 weeks ago, but I mean that's all I can ask, to stand on that start line or tread water on that start line and feel like I'm giving myself the best possible shot to have a good day. So I feel good.
Good job.
Yeah.
Haley, thank you so much for taking time. You
Yeah,
always
thank you
bring
for having
brightness
me.
to our day.
I try.
Poncho Man, take us out. A round of applause for Haley Chura.
It's breakfast with Bob in Hawaii. Get your coffee and tea and hang out with me. It's breakfast with Bob in Kona town.
Poncho Man, everybody.